this thing on. That's pretty good audio.
That's pretty good.
Hi!
What's up?
What's going on? Told you we'd be here from Orlando.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. We're trying out a new mic situation, so hopefully you guys can hear us okay. At least okay. If it's just okay, that's good. So
Let us know if
let us know, yes.
you want it. Well, I'll probably sound a little froggy.
Yeah.
Been a little under the weather, so we are here.
We're here.
We
in
are
Orlando.
3 degrees down.
Yeah, we are. I'm Nate.
Sarah,
If you haven't been here before, thank you.
I'm
If
back.
you're back, thank you. What's up? Last week was crazy. Did a little solo show.
You did great.
I appreciate that. Thank you. It's your turn next to do a solo show.
I don't know about that.
You don't know about that. Why?
You just had great conversations.
We're gonna have great conversations
You
tonight.
had great engagement. There was a lot of people on.
All the peeps are gonna be here. We got a few people that need to say hi. Hi, people. How are you guys this evening? How was your week? Feels like Saturday. So weird.
It does feel like a little
It's
bit.
kind of strange, honestly. So, yeah. So if you see these green lights on our chest, this is not anything the resort made us aware that we're at. Like, this is our new microphone setup we're trying, and we'll hide it better. We just want to make sure it works okay. So if you guys can hear us, give me a hey-o or something. I mean,
Give us something.
Yeah.
A green light, a thumbs up, a stop sign because it doesn't work.
We know it's working because we threw up Facebook and heard it talking, but see what's out there. We got people building in, so can't appreciate you guys enough. We're going to get into any of your topics you want to get into tonight. That seems to be the way to go here.
It did. But we have to start off and say happy birthday, anniversary? Birthday. All right.
Birthdays.
Happy birthday.
To
1 year
what?
on
Sup, Kate?
YouTube.
Yes, 1 year on YouTube for us. Nicole, hi.
What's up?
What's up? What are you all sipping on this evening? And yes, 1 year on YouTube. Officially. Now, we had toiled around with it in 2019.
Toiled around?
Yeah, put out a couple dumb episodes off of the podcast, which was fun, but they were just more like pictures to words. It was not, well, that's kind of what a movie is, I guess. Right?
A little bit.
But it was like literally pictures over us talking, like a podcast with pictures.
Okay.
And
well,
it was
not all of
meh.
it.
meh. But it was good. The content was good. But no, nothing like this. Mute button, please. You have a mute button.
Okay, I've got to
Jeez, just cough in their ears, huh? Oh my goodness. It's okay. She's getting over being sicky McSickerson. So all good, all good. Yeah, so you can see the background clearly has changed again this week. Guess what? The background's going to change again next week and potentially the week after. Myers will not be home for the next 2 live streams.
This is fun.
It really is. So I still haven't seen what anyone's sipping on just yet before we get into what we're drinking for our 1 year birthday celebration.
Pretty special one for me.
It is very special, and it ties in with the whole birthday idea.
It does, and kind of being in Orlando, we kind of decided to play on animals.
That sounds really bad. Since Animal Kingdom was part of Disney, we thought doing animal themed. Mike is working tonight. So you're drinking water on the rocks. There's nothing wrong with that. Look, got a little water in the bottle. So, we can give you a good, hold on. We like to give a good bottle close-up of stuff we're drinking. See, look at that. Beautifully packaged Aquafina. Look at that. Not to be confused with the actress Aquafina.
This is not a paid promotion.
Yeah. And we're back to that thing again. You snap at the camera? And we're back to that thing again. All right. We'll learn technology someday.
That's fantastic.
Right?
Like, hey, you!
Don't reach too far. It'll focus up there. I went cross-eyed there. I was like, don't do that. I'm sorry to hear Mike's working. That's crazy he's working. not like on a Friday. But hey, make him go make that money, right? That's what I
I
said.
was gonna say, or have the neighbors get you a cocktail.
Well, I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of people in the neighborhood that have liquor. We're not there, but I'm sure there's plenty of people in the neighborhood that do, I've heard. So that's good. So yeah, we're getting back into that. So you said we're celebrating animals or something. I don't know. You were playing Animals by Maroon 5. I don't know. You said something strange about animals.
You're fine.
I know. I'm showing the taco meat. It's not really that cool, is it?
Your thing kept falling. I just want to make sure they could still hear you.
I think they can. Otherwise, they'd be like, "We can't hear you."
We can't hear you.
But so to go along with the theme, we're like, we love Disney. I do too. I give them crap. Don't get me wrong.
He does give me crap for it.
No, I'm at Disney, but I give you crap too.
Mm.
We said Animal Kingdom was probably one of our favorite parks. So we tried to pick bourbons that had animals of some way, shape, or form involved.
Or yeah. So
I'll let you do the intro. On
we are kicking the night off tonight with a fresh bottle crack.
Yeah.
Of Blanton's.
Right. Blanton's. Keep talking.
Single barrel.
Keep talking.
Which it was dumped on my 40th birthday. So this bottle was bottled on 11/24/2020. So it is the 24th. It is the 1-year anniversary of being on YouTube. So we definitely wanted a fun bottle to celebrate, or fun reason to celebrate opening this bottle, and I figured this one was no better time. So
this is a fresh crack. Fresh. Good God, I haven't had a drink yet today. It's going blurry. You would think I've had drinks. We're gonna have problems. I'm gonna have to take autofocus off. So this is a fresh crack of Blanton's, and the tie-in with the animal,
the horse.
The horse on the top. So cheers.
Cheers.
Woohoo! Cheers, everyone. What you thinking? Gotta swirl it. Don't forget to swirl it. Got the best swirling glass out there.
I don't know, because we watched the official whiskey.
Oh yeah. Julia Van Winkle.
The third.
Sorry, you're right. So
Don't forget the third.
You don't want to swirl it.
He says you don't want to swirl it, but yet he swirls when he does it.
Right, which is kind of funny. It's kind of ironic, actually. Greg Taylor, what's up, dude? What are you drinking, man? We're drinking a little Blanton's. Just little basic Blantons.
It's not it's basic, but it's special for us.
It is special. I joke, for a retail $60 bottle.
I'm trying to choke myself, so
if you
I pull my mic out.
If you could find it for $60, it'd be amazing. But you can't. So not easily.
Getting some caramel like butterscotch.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Greg, what are you doing home on a Friday night, first off? Well, there you go. Smoked old-fashioned cigar night, brother. All right. I like it. What do you use for that smoked old-fashioned? Just a little regular house call bourbon, or what'd you use?
It's gonna be hot because I haven't had any drinks this week.
You're fine. Get some cough medicine. It's close. Oh, Buffalo Trace, huh? Ooh. Well, we got a cousin of Buffalo Trace here. We thought about doing Buffalo Trace.
We did. Because it's a buffalo.
Yeah, it's got decent legs. I mean, it's watered down so much, right? For being a single oil product, they have to water it down a ton. But
what was this one? 100. Did you?
So Blanton's is always going to be at 93 proof. I'm sorry, I forgot. Yeah, always. They always water it down to 93 proof. Okay. Damn it! We both leaned in. Hi, everyone. There's a huge, there's the rooms behind us, which isn't helping with focus, but if we set up a different way, you'd be looking at a blank wall, a mirror, or a door. So this is the best you got. So I'm going to keep my arm here to see if that helps.
It's trying to pick up that lamp.
It really is. It loves lamp.
I love lamp.
Yeah. So just like last week, one of the things we want to do as we're waiting on people to build or whatever is throw us anything you're thinking about bourbon. Got any questions about bourbon? I want to know what Sarah thinks because my opinion's worthless. that's the fun of this show, is we get to do whatever we want. And we love the games and stuff, but we also like the chance to interact with you guys. That's honestly the most fun for this. All right, Aiden, I see you're here to party. You skate faster than you has. Listen, well, you better get to skating, boy. I don't know what to tell you.
So yeah, I'm definitely getting like some caramel butterscotch notes. Is it me when I pick up the glass?
Yes, because you're too far. Keep it closer to you. There you go.
Sorry.
You're fine.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
Like caramely vanilla butterscotch, like a vanilla butterscotch.
Okay, I go with you on that. Definitely vanilla. There's a little oak there. It's kind of nice. I don't have a lot of hate, honestly, for Blanton's. I get it. People are a little crazy about it, and I get it. It's a fun bottle, but it's something where I'm not sure, even as a single barrel product, I'm happy trying to go to over triple digits to pay for it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, so it's funny because I came back from Ohio last weekend, or this past weekend, I guess. I got back Monday. And I stopped at what was it? Cork and Jug or something like that. Is a little bar in the Cincinnati airport. And it's a bourbon bar. And I came around the corner because if you've ever flown in and out of Cincinnati, you know that like it is just a long walkway from like where people drop you off or where you like get off the planes anyway. But so I come around the corner and there's a couple people already sitting at the bar, and then the bartender, he kind of just looks at me, and you could tell that he was like irritated, like really irritated. And I was like, hey, and I look up and I was like, how much for what's a pour of your Stag Junior? And you could just see like his face like completely just changed, and his like attitude changed. And then I was sitting there and I had my Stag Junior, and he like kind of like sees that I'm like tasting, like getting into what it was. And then a couple people come and go. And then I was like, hey buddy, what's your like favorite rye up there? And then he's like, oh, okay. And then like he comes back and he's like, can I just be honest with you? I was like, well, I would hope so. He's like, I'm so glad the first words out of your mouth were, do you got any Blanton's?
Word.
Yeah. He was just like, I am so glad you did not say, where's the Blanton's or how much was the Blanton's?
And then some dude walks up, you're telling me this, like some dude walks up and they have a Blanton's Gold there.
Mm-hmm.
And some dude's like, how much to sell me that topper?
He just wanted the topper.
Which I get, whatever. If you're enamored with the brand or whatever, you've never seen a gold or whatever, you want it. But man, and the dude's like, you can buy the whole bottle and I'll figure out how to get you the top one. And it was open. He's gonna make him buy.
He was open, and he said you have to finish the bottle, and I guess I'll sell you. And he was like, and give me a $20 tip or something like that. Yeah.
Guys, sorry about the focus. I'm about to turn it off in a minute, and we'll just deal with it. So.
I know we don't have anything we're like trying to.
Yeah, that's fine.
Show so.
Right. But yeah, Aiden said Blanton's is fine, not really impressive at all. I agree, but I don't want to take his shine off it for people that have never had it. Right. Maybe hold it up for that. Like it's a fun pour. It's fun to have a bottle around just for that reason, so you can thrill someone with something they've never tried and been seeking and can't hardly find at all. But that said, I don't go out of my way. Unfortunately, it's not a snob thing. It's just there's other bottles that are equally as hard to find that I'd be way more excited about.
The guy he had the Gold Horse, and then he had two others there. One was, I think, a store pick or something like that, and then just a regular Blanton's. Yeah,
I can only imagine just everything Buffalo Trace related, and and then the funny part about it is people are talking about and saying like, well, it's going to get better if they just double their production. Well, okay, most of their products that you're chasing are at least 6 years old, so wait 6 years now and see what happens. And that's not to say it might be 4 or 5 because they'll blend some younger product in with some of that older aging stock. But Eagle Rare is going to be, before it's truly doubled, it's going to be 10 years. So people don't think like that. But you're exactly right, Aiden. It's wild, dude. It's it's one of those things where we were talking. Some of my buddies were talking recently about LEs, so limited editions, or some of them are allocated. They really are allocated. And I said, Heaven Hill had an amazing year last year with LEs. I don't know that they can keep up with Buffalo Trace necessarily, because Buffalo Trace has such a broad portfolio. You have the BTACs and the Pappies, but Heaven Hill had a great year on LEs last year, as did Wild Turkey. So I'm hoping that maybe it doesn't turn and we can still get some of those LEs because the Buffalo Trace ones are just ridiculous. Yes, it's absolutely worse around the holidays. And you know what? I don't know how you feel about it, but I'm sure I can imagine one of our parents going in and saying, "My son or daughter loves whiskey, and I hear about this Blanton's."
Yeah.
And that's innocent.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel about that, Aiden, but to me, at least that's innocent, and it's not like that dude that's like, "Hey, I know it's BTEC season. Did you get any Eagle Rare? Or did you get any Thomas Handy?
And I mean, I would hope that store owners would understand that, you know what I mean? Especially like you say, especially around the holidays when people are trying to get gifts for people and things like that. They're just trying to do something special, but
yeah, you can usually tell the difference. Now, occasionally somebody will probably be a little sneaky snake about it though and be like, "Do you have any of this for my grandson or granddaughter or daughter or son or niece or nephew?" And the next thing you know, then they're turning around and be like, what about that lobby? You got any of that back? And you're like, whoa. Hold on, you just flipped a switch here.
Yeah.
It is funny to watch, though. I don't know. It's tough because, I realized the other day, I don't get out during the day and hunt, and a lot of that's a function of just trying to be a productive worker at my job. But it's so strange how much you can still find. Now, BT, no, not so much. We're in Florida. You're not going to find it. Buffalo Trace itself, you can find. Worst ones are the snobs who refuse anything that isn't exactly the one BT thing they want. Well, yeah, I think that's insane to me. To go in and think that a store is going to be like, "Well, this is the only thing I'm looking for, so you must give it to me."
I will have to say, if you have a sore throat, this is fantastic for you.
Well, most bourbons are going to fit that category, but yeah.
I mean, like I said, this is my first drink for the week, so.
So how's this bottle leaning flavor-wise? Let's not stay into it too long, but I mean, obviously they're single barrels, so they do vary. Where are you at on that?
What flavors? I'm gonna definitely have to get another sip.
Go for it.
This was first
sip.
I'm
almost done with mine, but go ahead.
But what are you feeling?
I'm pulling some of those apple notes a little bit off of it, which you get on occasion. Clearly it's allspice, a little bit of small amount of that funky Buffalo Trace oak, but nothing crazy out there. I mean, not overwhelming by any stretch of imagination. Maybe a little black pepper in there. So
I was gonna say it's definitely spicy. It's
beyond just baking spice.
Yeah, it's peppery, definitely peppery.
Yeah,
a peppery feel.
I love that. I bet this is this isn't far-fetched at all. The worst part is if anyone's just casually tuning in, I'm a real bourbon drinker. I won't drink anything that isn't from Kentucky. And my daily drinker is Elmer T. Lee. I buy it for $400 at the store. It's such a good price. You're such a great customer if you're buying Elmer T. Lee for $400. I would love you. The best people are the ones who just come in and ask why, what we think. Yeah, totally agree with that. I could see that being more interesting.
Yeah. And that's kind of where I was with my second pour, because I knew I wanted something that I would enjoy for my first one. But I always we usually do that when we're at a bar. We're ask bartender's choice, or what is it that you enjoy? What was I? It was the
Luca Mariano.
It was their single barrel pick.
Cork and bottle?
Yeah, I think it's cork and bottle.
Yeah.
And it was their rye. It was really, really good.
Luca Mariano, along with K. Luke, there's some of these up and comers. They chose to put their name or their pseudo name on the label itself versus being a brand. I've tried a couple Luca Marianos. It was solid juice. It's still sourced. That's okay. What isn't sourced if you're trying to start a distillery nowadays, unfortunately? So might be more difficult for me because Buffalo Trace is one of my favorite. Well, absolutely, man. It really is. It kind of, you at least you have some range in theory. I won't sit here and tell you I think it's the best product on the planet, but in theory, you have benchmark that you can bring people into if they're really looking for something. Maybe you can throw them with a Weller Special Reserve if you happen to have one or some around that, because those are a little coveted and not necessarily as difficult to get. They're still hard to get because they're allocated. We know that, but or just go to Ohio and get Weller Special Reserve wherever you want. So.
I'm not sure my dad.
But that's a whole different story. I hope, hey Glenn, if you're on here, we're gonna get you coached up.
We're gonna get him some of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm getting a little bit of butterscotch now.
I don't disagree with you. I think there's that kind of sweetness factor. I'm trying to pin it down because I really didn't say a sweet flavor in any of those things whatsoever. And I kind of lean towards like heavy buttercream or butterscotch. It's kind of in between for me. So again, it's thin too. That's the other thing for me is like, you get some like blend straight from the barrel. Fire. So good. Of course, you got to pay $2.50 to grab a bottle anywhere. But yeah, you don't carry Benchmark. Weller every once in a while, but yeah, definitely. I'm not a big tea fan person. Yeah. Benchmark, it's such a weird thing. Like, honestly, you can tell Benchmark is that, clearly shares that mash bill with Stag. I won't put it on the level with the Stag Juniors or new Stag Junior, whatever you want to call it. But it's got that pedigree, and so it is something fun that you can recommend to people if you do get it. Especially if there's so many options with it. You have just the basic Benchmark 8, which is cheap. You have the top floor if they really want to gas themselves, foolproof. So it is a nice line to kind of dip down to.
Is that the N10 cup?
Tin Cup's different. That's sourced, and not all of it's sourced. They're making their own. Yeah, Benchmark Foolproof not my favorite thing they make, though. Yeah, I agree with you on that. The Bonded isn't so bad, the 100 proof, but the Benchmark Foolproof is, I gotta be honest, like I might have to do this compare when we get home. You might have just sparked something for me, and I don't think it's a fair comparison. I might have to do Benchmark Foolproof versus All Grandad 114. That's 11 proof difference, so it's not really fair. But they kind of hold the same spot in the market in certain respects. Like they're kind of what could be a lot of people's first introduction to near barrel strength or barrel strength.
Profile-wise,
they're not going to go on the same lines. That's going to be a preference thing. But I might have to do that just for funsies because you hear it's usually rumors. Obviously it's rumors, but you hear a lot where Grandad 114 might be going away. They'd be dumb to get rid of that line at this point. But who knows? Strange things have happened. So I don't know. All right, final thoughts on the Blanton's?
It's good. I'm enjoying it because it's kind of like a celebratory pour, but it's not like oh my god,
It's actually got a touch more alcohol heat than I typically get off of that. But that's the first pour, some neck pour, if you will, or the horse's ass. I'm not sure. Whatever. So. Yeah, just wave. Sorry guys. This room is not optimal for this. Plus our technology we just figured out in the office, let alone trying to make it on the road. So they do. You're 100% dead on. I've noticed the exact same thing. Is like, and I think it's because Benchmark is an epitome minus Old Charter. Is an epitome of the entry-level product for Buffalo Trace. And people just don't want to associate Buffalo Trace with being on that bottom shelf, right? If we're being honest, Buffalo Trace itself should be a mid-tier or a mid-tier plus at best. And people hold it as a not a highly allocated, but an allocated product, right? So they did. In fact, there's the whole crap about Dan liking Top Floor, which it was obviously a joke, but I get it. Listen, it is not WLW, clearly, or George T. Stagg. I don't know.
Love me some Stagg.
Yeah. Some Stagg is some good stuff. They just put batch 19 out, I heard, or saw last night. Cam?
That was another animal. We didn't have any.
No, we didn't have any Stagg because we piggied up our last bottle. Batch 19 Stagg, Cam from Drums and Drams had batch 19 on last night.
He was doing what? Comparison between 12 and 19?
He had everything from 12 all the way up through 19 out.
Okay, but the three that he had, which one? He had one on the corner that he wasn't really talking about, but he was comparing 12 and 19. It looked like.
When we tuned in, he was comparing 15 and 16, I think, and then he talked about 12 and 19.
Okay.
I have had Weller 12, a pour of it. I have not owned a bottle. I don't think you've had Weller 12 yet. Black Label Weller. No, you haven't. From what I recall, it was kind of in my early days. I'll call it my early days, but I wasn't anywhere as experienced as I am now, which is not the most experienced, but it is what it is. It was very enjoyable to me, but I still think from my recollection, I prefer 107 and possibly Foolproof better than Weller 12, but that's me. Your miles will vary. What about you? What are you thinking, Aiden? What do you think about that one?
I know I enjoy Weller 107.
Yeah, I just think it's a question on what I recall about Weller 12 That's what I thought you might say. What I recall about Weller 12 is, for it being a 12-year aged product, it should be something along the lines of a Heaven Hill. Heaven Hill would be Elijah Craig barrel proof, right? Problem is, Weller's 12 is not barrel proof. I don't remember the proof. I think they proof it down to 114, 111, something in there. No. Give me that hit. And I might be wrong about that. If I am, please correct me. But I think that's my problem with all of Buffalo Trace, in all honesty, is that, and we just have that Blanton's, right? Just don't proof it down so much. But I get it. This is what they've decided. This is how their marketing works on all this. This is everything. So I don't know. Aiden, do you guys are you in a control state? It's terrible. My memory is horrible. I remember names and faces sometimes, and places I don't remember at all. So are you guys in a control state? Like, or watch, you're probably like our neighbor. Not kidding, you're not our neighbor. Number 2 was?
They're in a horse or a letter. They're in horsey order.
They're in a horsey order. What was it? Centerville.
Oh, this is the Old Elk.
Yeah, Old Elk. Yeah, I don't know. There's a whole thing for me that the control states. So like I always want to keep a topic in the pocket we'll talk about, and maybe we'll go into this a little more over time in the course, whatever time we're here together tonight. But like Oregon, I don't know if you guys saw that. I don't think you did because you were traveling and we didn't just talk about it too much. But Oregon's a control state, and their head of actually he was over there allocation essentially for bourbon, spirits, and marijuana, because marijuana is legal out there. So he had actually been given that part of his office. He just stepped down last week, and it came on the heels of allegations that they were essentially the commissioner for the allocations and all that in the state of Oregon for bourbon, spirits, and marijuana. He stepped down because there's allegations and seems to be some truth behind, allegedly, because remember, I don't want to get in trouble like Pat McAfee. Allegedly that they were taking things like Happy 23 and doing allocations out legitimately, but then 1 or 2 bottles each run was just going to their local store for their earmark for them to come purchase at retail.
Interesting.
Yeah. So the reason why I asked that is because it's something that's been on my mind a lot lately, and I see the political issues with things when you bring up government control. And so you're always going to have that tough thing, like, I don't want the government in my life. I do, whatever. But I'm always wondering where people land on this, because living in Florida, it's wild, wild west for the most part, to be honest with you. And so you can make a relationship with store owners, and that can help. There's some store owners that take their allocated product into like raffles, straight up raffles for retail each month, which is amazing. But then we also have the big retailers that have their loyalty programs where you have to spend bottom end if you buy the right products, like $500. Top end if you're just buying everyday run-of-the-mill products, like over $1,000 to get into the chance to see the email in time to purchase something once or twice a month. And they're screwing that up even on occasion, actually more recently. So I'm always curious to see what people think. It's yeah, and I think that's your last statement's really the hard part there, right? Because it's alcohol. Because you have secondary markets and things elsewhere and controlled things elsewhere, and it's a question of where's those taxes and where's everything else involved. And I don't know, like Alabama just switched their system. They're still controlled, but they went to a state lottery, a full state lottery, and they'll just distribute the bottles to where your location is.
Is that different than a lottery?
Lottery.
A lottery.
Mike Lowry.
You're like lottery.
But they used to have drops, so they would just drop them at stores every month, and you show up and get in line. And obviously that was regulated to a pretty good degree, but they decided to change that. So I don't know what I'd be for, to be honest with you, if I was changing away from just laissez-faire free market, which I'm not saying it's laissez-faire. It's not really fair, so to speak, how to make a bad joke. But what do you think? What would you like? Would you like to just be able to say, I know they're going to drop alcohol here and I can go stand in line for it for 7 or 8 hours? Or, yeah, Bruzel's content is going to change. It has to. I think that's exactly what I was going after from my experience from watching Aiden, was Bruzel. What do you think? You've seen Bruzel videos, how it used to be in Alabama.
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't mind like the stand in line game, so I think I would rather know that if I was standing in line, I would be guaranteed a bottle.
I mean, like we've stood in line for craft beer and
We've-
get it, and that's now that is a different situation. That's one brewery making a beer that you have to go to the brewery and get.
True.
So it is it's unique to what we're talking about here. It's not the same, but at the same time, it was an equal situation. Like if I wanted to show up at 11 p.m. the night before and be the first in line, I could do that.
You could.
I don't know. I don't think there's any perfect answer, because if you're respecting other people's opinions and able to have good debate about it, then it's a great topic. But it breaks down way too fast, especially anytime you insinuate that the government should distribute the bottles, whether it's private retailers, whether it's to their own ABC stores, which I don't agree with, but that's my personal opinion. It's just a freaking weird thing. I don't know.
I kind of like the lottery system as well. Like when we were dating and you got the lottery for those tickets that one year, it's kind of similar to that, like you went and
Sort of.
stood in line and you got a number and
Concert tickets.
Concert
Let's talk about
tickets.
concert tickets. I took her to see NSYNC. I was in the second row at NSYNC.
it's kind of very similar.
And that's the end of the stream, apparently. Probably. No, I'm kidding.
Way back in the day, that's where it all started.
Yeah, it really did. It really did. A proponent of prioritizing your favorite customers, people who are more generous get more stuff. I know it's not fair, but no, I mean, I'm
It's
okay with
not,
that too,
but-
to be honest with you. Like, I do believe that there's loyalty should be rewarded. I don't think that's a bad thing in any stretch of the imagination. Where I think it ties back in is what you were saying earlier, like your occasional shoppers that drop in, they're not even customers, and expect you to just give up the goods when they're dropping, maybe $100 a year because they come in and get their vodka for whatever, their cheap vodka. So no worries, Aiden, man. Good to see you, buddy.
Cheers,
Thanks for
buddy.
popping in. Have a good one. We'll see you next week, probably, buddy. Yeah, I don't know. There's no good solution. There's only a good solution.
I mean, I don't think, regardless of how you get it or where you get it, you know what I mean? I think everyone is going to have something negative to say about it. So
More than likely. All right, so this is Old Elk Double Wheat, in case you wondered. We did kind of allude to it. So going on the whole animal kingdom theme, we love animals. And Sarah's talking about something about animals. I don't remember. Whatever.
we're gonna kick shit.
I know. It's just a light. It doesn't matter. I can kick it. Can I kick it? So
This
yes,
is-
you can.
It smells very earthy. It kind of smells.
Herbal.
I kind of get dirt.
Greg is Malort up next.
No,
No, we didn't bring it with us, dude.
not bringing it
Yeah.
with us.
And I don't think they'll DoorDash Malort, but I could be wrong.
And I don't know that being sick, if my stomach could take it this week.
Oh, stop it. You're not that sick.
I'm not that sick, but I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like when you taste something that you're not really fond of, you just are like,
It does have a really woodsy kind of thing going on with it. Like a
just
forest floor.
dirt.
Dirt. Pretty wild. Like I remember having it a while back and it was nothing like that. It was definitely more of a sweet, almost a sweet wheat, 1792 sweet wheat like smell.
Oh hell no!
No, this is not close to that.
Can I do it? You're wrong.
I'm never gonna live that one down. I should go back and clip that out and play it for people. Yeah, pretty much. All right. Oh, but that's so good.
Is it?
It is. That's crazy though. Anyway, so yeah, the whole Oregon thing was interesting. He stepped down. He's still going to face criminal charges apparently. But the dude got away with who knows how many. And it's not just him. Apparently, there was others he was setting up to get these bottles. We talked about Justin's House of Bourbon last week. We talked about that, and there's just so many things going on. There was apparently a distillery in Hawaii that was raided for shipping issues
There was a bunch of them
because
recently.
it was out of Michigan. Michigan said don't ship something about shipping bottles to Michigan. The distillery was shipping them there, and Michigan's the one that's actually finding that Hawaiian distillery. $25,000 for one instance.
Wow, isn't
That's
that
what it
like
could be?
almost breaking for that distillery though. Like,
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a tiny distillery in Hawaii, and you know how expensive stuff is in Hawaii
Yeah.
already. Like there's just no way they're going to be. Well, I mean, I shouldn't say there's no way they'll survive. I don't know what their means are. I have no idea what their situation is, but you got to think that's probably a lot of their profit for the year. You know,
That's crazy.
if not all of it, could put them under. But I don't know. We're still somewhat fortunate. Like, you know,
Where on the island is it?
don't know. I didn't get the details of that one. I saw the name of the distillery. And I've never heard of them, but I can't imagine it would be hard to find an article about it. I mean, honestly, it's Hawaiian Distillery. They have a shipping license. They just were shipping it to Michigan, and Michigan took exception to it because I guess the way it all works now is like there's only certain zip. You can within your state, you may even have zip codes that can accept
Okay.
deliveries, which is wild to me. Like that states would care to go down that far, or it could be county based. I don't know. But it's definitely a challenge and a problem that we're just facing.
I mean, it's just crazy to how many people don't actually understand like the distribution of bourbon and how it works.
You're right.
Because when I was at the airport, there was a gentleman, and he kept it's like he thought the bartender had something to do with it.
Oh yeah.
And he was from Portland or something. I think he was from Portland.
It's like, we don't get any bourbon out
He's
there.
like, we don't get any bourbon. And I was like,
Legit any bourbon.
he was just like kept going. He's like, you can do something about that, can't you, buddy? You can do. And the bartender is just like, dude,
No,
shut
I
up.
can't.
Like, no.
By the way, you do get bourbon. You're just not paying attention.
Yeah, he was just like, and I kind of looked at him and was like, you can go and get that right there at your liquor store. And he's like, I can? I was like, yes, you can. The bourbon you just had a pour of, you could probably go and get that at your liquor store. And he was like, no way. I was like, I don't know what you're doing, dude. Like, are you just here because you need a shot before you get on the airplane, or what's happening?
He's probably mental. Who knows? Don't know.
Could be.
Don't know. Maybe let's move on to their next drink. Nicole, you still got some water out there. Greg, you still on your old-fashioned cigars. I don't know who else is out there. Give us a shout. Let us know. We're going to be on for another half hour or so, probably, I guess. We got this one to get through, plus another. Got to tuck in a little earlier tonight. We got an early morning to make the conference tomorrow.
Mhm.
So, but nothing too crazy. But got the road set up now, so now I feel better about definitely saying that more often than not when we're traveling, we're going to catch Friday Night Lives or whatever night that is.
We had to test it out and make sure we knew how everything worked.
Yeah. And maybe I can get these lights to turn off if it's annoying, but if it's not, now it is probably, so that's amazing. So you're welcome.
As I squeak.
Yeah, you wheezed. Yeah. Yes, sir. Let's figure that out when I get back. So I will, I don't know if I told you this, I'll be in Ohio next week.
Yeah.
And then we're going to stop on Nashville on the way home the following weekend. Let's figure that out when I get back for sure. We'll get it on books. Question, do you want to do it recorded or live? To you, Mr. Taylor.
But next Friday might be a little wild, so you definitely will want to.
Yeah, we're going to be at our buddy's house, and
probably have maybe a couple pop-ins.
yeah, we might have.
Definitely gonna turn that autofocus off.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we're going to set up a better location there where we don't have this depth. This was literally the only way I could show you anything presentable in a room whatsoever. And this light's not ideal either, but if I turn it off, the autofocus gets even worse. So, yeah, what are you going to do?
Yeah, we'll definitely. I think we will pump up next week because gonna have a bunch of our Ohio folks in, and
And I mean, you'll see a lot of new faces, some of the Ohio crew that we grew up with, and it's gonna be a good time. If you guys have seen Nick on here before, he'll probably be there.
maybe Ryan,
potentially.
possibly my girlfriend Sammy.
Right, and she'll definitely be in front of the camera because
If
what she
you
does.
need a laugh next Friday, you just
what she does.
that is what she does.
Basically.
So yeah, we will be traveling next week.
We are, yeah, we're going to a lot. It's gonna be a good time though. We have this cool thing, like it's called Whiskey Weekend in a couple weekends, put on by the Podcast, which they are Will and Grease in Nashville. They're near Nashville, south of Nashville. And there'll be some other YouTubers there as well. Obviously, ourselves included. We are not part of the entertainment. We're going as guests, or we purchased the tickets to go. But it's gonna be a great time. We're gonna actually go to Jack Daniel's and get like breakfast at the restaurant just for our group, which is you can occasionally eat at the Jack Daniel's place, but you don't get to get like the place shut down for breakfast. For
Mama B's, I think is what it's
I
called.
don't remember the name.
Something
of it.
like
So
that?
bad I was trying to avoid it, but you brought it up. So.
I think it's Mama B's or something
Yeah.
like that.
And then Leaper's Fork is a craft distillery near Nashville, and we're gonna go there, and the whole 100 or so of us are gonna actually do a barrel pick together. They looked into getting Guinness.
I was gonna say it's
World
gonna
record's not
be
big.
Allegedly the largest
Group
barrel pick
Yeah,
for the Guinness, but they can't.
it was gonna cost $25,000 for Guinness to come out and certify it.
So they
And they're
think
like,
I think they can still submit the information.
Something, and it won't be official, but yeah, still pretty amazing. What are you doing? You making us all? There you go.
I wanted to lean back a little.
Go ahead, lean back. Come back here with me.
Lean back.
Come on back here with me.
This mic, it's heavy.
It pulls your shirt down
It
for
does.
sure.
Like,
Yeah,
you
it
need
makes
to-
things lopsided. That's for sure. Yeah.
Oh, he's a jokester, y'all.
Not sure you ever want me live. I don't know, Greg.
It's fun.
How live are you going to be? I mean, do your buddies want to see you live or not? That's the question. I don't know. They're going to give you a hard time. That's the real question. So, what you thinking?
I'm getting mint.
I saw that same look from you when you took cough medicine this week. That's why I asked you that.
And I just don't know if maybe it's because of all the cough medicine, but I'm getting mint.
That was great, actually. You were like,
No, what was oh no. It was the sour strip.
oh yeah, that was great. We should have brought those on. It's definitely not what I recall from that double wheat. It is not the same thing I drank a while back. It's actually almost American single malt like,
Yeah, I get that. I can.
where you get that earthier
Yeah.
kind of experience. I don't recall it being that way. I recall that I did like the other LE from them last year better, the 4-grain. But
Do you ever try something and then it doesn't taste good? You're like, hey, this is awful. Try it.
like Malort,
Or sour strips.
yeah, Malort sour strips, same damn thing. What are you gonna do? All right. On number 3, and then we'll see where we're at. We may be cutting a little short tonight. I don't know. We just want to get out here and make sure we stay consistent. That's the main thing. We have, you guys are some of our most devoted people out there, and we can't appreciate you enough. So we'll make sure to give you a little bit of entertainment, maybe a little something to do on a Friday night if you're sitting at home or sitting at work like Aiden was.
Where's the work? Do you recall or
It's
what?
at a liquor store. I don't know
Okay.
where exactly. I need to connect with him offline a little more. All right, so going along with our animal theme, well, it nailed a whole point. Look at that, nailed an ounce, killed it. Going along with our animal theme number 3, we decided to go back to one that we know we just both love. So we did the Blanton's horsey,
Did a horsey.
the horsey. We did the Old Elk
What else do you think we could
double
do?
wheat, and you know which distillery we love. Well, I love at least.
So what do you think it is? Don't cheat and go back out to the thumbnail.
Yeah, you might have seen the thumbnail, but what do you think it is?
What's the next animal we're going to be drinking? That sounds so bad.
Weird. You gotta figure out your phrasing on that. You know that?
What did I say? We were trying to figure it out last night. We're going to the zoo or something
Yeah.
like that. We're
We're going to the stew. I'm like,
we're gonna drink the zoo or something like that.
Oh, that's what he said. Yeah, we're gonna drink. the zoo.
You looked at me like, no.
Yeah, I don't think so. So, all right, no one's guessing wild turkey rare breed. Come on. I think one of the best bottles on the market for the price. Don't know about you. It's like home again. It's like when you walk in your house after being gone for a week. You're like, this is my house.
You're welcome.
Oh, you say that because you sell Scentsy? I don't even need to smell anymore. I just want to.
Just like delicious chocolate.
I get like more nuttiness off it, but there's a chocolate element for sure. For sure. It's So good. So good when it hits your lips.
Mm.
All right, let me ask you this. There's a few of you in here, and I'm going to let you help us dictate a little bit of the show next week.
Okay.
Like that much. Maybe not that much, but like that much. Make sense? We are definitely going to have a few people around that have some whiskey experience. We're going to have a few that don't. Would you like us to blind them?
Ooh.
And get live reactions? Would that be fun to you? Or would you prefer record that and make a video out of it?
Oh, that would be fun too.
You tell us.
Would you do just bourbons or would you do multiple alcohols?
I would probably stick with just bourbon for the time being. Later on, maybe when the channel's grown a bit, we could stretch that a little bit and put some Malort in front of some people. But you tell us, what would you rather see that as live content? Meaning you'd probably have to tune in or go make an effort to go back and watch, or have us just record it while we're up there and then produce it for you. So, we have a fancy mute button too. It's amazing.
I hope it mutes.
It did. Bueller.
You're like, we don't care.
No, they're like, it's fine. It's Friday night and we're drinking. I'm gonna mute myself. Look at that. I'm muted now. You can hear me on our mic, but we're having a fun time with our technology. I don't care who's watching. Oh, goodness gracious. All right, well, we're going to give it probably a few more minutes, then we're going to drop off here. A little light crowd tonight. That happens. We'll fire it up again next week and see where we're at. But let's see if we get a couple people to rejoin here in a few minutes. Got a couple people on YouTube. I assume one of those is Glenn.
Possibly. One might.
Probably.
No, I'm not looked in anymore.
One might be Nikki still. Oh, we're down to one. All right. Video and produce the blind test. Well, there you go. Hey, you're the sole vote, so you win, B. Will. Now we know who's out there. Katie and B. Will.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, guys, I appreciate you hanging out with us.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. All right, so I think I was thinking it'd probably be better to video and produce too. If nothing else, I can probably set up a second camera to get a second angle of their face. The Canon would be okay. I could do it, set it in 4K, and put it the right distance away.
I mean, we might be able to quickly test it this week. So.
Oh, no doubt about that. So I think that's what we'll do. Maybe we'll see if people that night want to. Maybe we'll do a quick stream, 45 minutes, but then maybe we'll do some recording, some reactions and whatnot. I don't know. It's hard because you got to have some silence in the background stuff, and there's a bunch of people partying. It's not going to be easy.
Maybe we can do it prior. We can figure it out.
That's not a bad idea. Or we could set it up like elsewhere, like down in his basement, and then have somebody come down.
We can figure it out.
One at a time. All right. Come to the basement and taste whiskey. That sounds like a good plan. I think so. Be well, what are you drinking, buddy? I'm guessing Monkey Shoulder, unless you somehow have gotten to that bottle, which would be impressive. There is a distinct chocolate to the very finish of this.
Mm-hmm.
You go, to me, it goes vanilla, nut, spice, heavy spice, and then a little chocolatey finish. Yep, Monkey Shoulder. Blind. Yeah, well, we'll definitely do it blind, for sure. It would be like where I'd take something fairly basic too, probably like Wild Turkey 101 or something. Nothing ridiculous where it'd be like, oh wow, here's this, wine barrel finished.
I think we could totally use the available bourbons that like you guys just recently done the videos of.
100%.
So
things like that where we might
absolutely.
have two absolutely, yeah, 2 flights, maybe one run, and then have people come back and do a second run. Catch their reactions when you show them the bottle, like what?
Yeah, that would be fun.
All right, well, we're gonna do that. What do you think?
Because we don't already have a busy schedule.
Well, that's like Friday night. We're getting in Friday night. We're staying at his house. Okay. We're not going out Friday. So
for sure.
Yeah. All right. You ready to let these fine people go? All right. Greg, B. Will, Katie, everyone out there, thank you for joining. We know we kind of went short tonight, but we hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Friday night. Yes?
Have a great night, guys.
We'll see you next Friday, or if we don't see you sooner,